I will tell you some stuff here about things that have changed in the last 12 years since the last time I was standing here in front of you talking. The technologies of sewing machines has really radically changed in the standpoint that they were easy 12 years ago. Now, in comparison, they do more and they're simpler. The modern technologies, it's fully integrated with the computer. The machines are anymore. And the machine's just going to do what you tell it to do. And that can be achieved with your machine through DigiJunior. Whereas 12 years ago, we were still in the throes of, we were wanting to do different designs and stuff. We'd have these memory cards that you'd buy. And they were kind of like the sewing machine. The designs are built in. And that's it. You can make them a little bit bigger. You can make them a little bit smaller. You can flip them. You can rotate them. You can add other ones with it. The technology of today is a lot faster, a lot simpler, and more precise. The new modern incantations of the Janome embroidery machines, to be honest with you, today's machines sew better. They'll sew at higher speeds, and the stitch quality is far superior to even the technologies of 12 years ago. It's just like everything else. And with the advent of Digitizer MBX and Digitizer Junior, it's really simple.
I've not even started learning yet.
Well, the app-based applying to the sewing machine is getting ready to happen. I don't know yet. I go to Janome Institute in August, and there's major innovations getting ready to take place with Janome. That's the only thing that I know of. I kind of have an idea, but that's all I'm going to say for now. But anyway, it's taken me about a week. And I'll be honest with you, ladies, I have been a fan of XP and Windows 7. Fully endorse it. Still do. But after a week, I found that Windows 8 is easier to use than Windows 7 is. It's a learning curve.
Well, no, they told me that they could update my Windows 7 to Windows 8 out at CompuWorld.
Now, technologically, I have to explain this. With the digitizers and the MemoryCraft 11,000 down, I don't think you need anything else besides Windows 7. I wish it was XP. But Windows 7 is a very stable platform to run Digitizer MBX. And for your technology, you'll be needing this. And periodically, as our club grows, guys, I'll be coming in and taking over for Lois Ann and keeping you updated with what's going on in the sewing machine field. There's 2 or 3 things
I'd better give it to him.
that's taking place with the store that you need to be aware of. The first thing is Bob's back. Bob is smarter than he was when he left here 11 years ago with the sewing machines. I had a run in West Virginia with a store, and I had a group of embroidery customers that drove me to a different level. It forced me to. Now I'm slowly innovating that into this store, but it's going to be a drawn out period of time, technologically, Digitizer MBX changed everything. And I keep going back to talking about Digitizer MBX and Digitizer Junior from the standpoint of the embroidery. In a couple of clubs, when I get enough people trained now with Digitizer Junior and MBX, we're going to have a core of about 25 people in here that'll be in here every month. And the thing of it is the sewing machine is changing, and it's changing for a positive. And I'm seeing the trend already taking place here in this store.
And my problem is I'm not changing with it.
Right here. Right here. People are tired of buying crap. And it doesn't matter whether they go to a fancy dress store or a fancy or Walmart. Most of the garments are crap. The one, and you have two different levels of crap. You have crap, and you have expensive crap. Well, one of the things that we've forgotten is once upon a time, folks, we sewed.
Yeah, I used to make all my clothes a long time ago.
Well, I'm going to tell you something about the modern sewing machine. If you'd had this modern sewing machine when you were making all of your clothes, to this day you would still be making your own clothes, because modern sewing machines make sewing easier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've asked Mike Sutherland to come back to the shop. The reason I've asked Mike Sutherland to come back to the shop is Mike Sutherland worked with Mom back in the late 80s and early 90s. But Mike in particular, as you can tell, has a tailored look, which is called haute couture sewing, if you've never heard of this term. What is haute couture? Haute couture is the same type of sewing that you see on these shows today, like called Project Runway.
Oh, yeah. I love
That is stylized sewing. It is construction to form fit you to make you look at your best. And Mike does that. Nancy's been sitting in here for the last few weeks, just sitting there just amazed. All you have to do is go over there and look at that. Accent embellishment is an enhancement to his sewing style. This is accent embellishment. See, Mike's thing is, this and this. This is accent embellishment. This blue ties this together. His jacket see, if you look at the tailoring, look at the lining, but look at that. That takes a plain tailored garment and gives it a punch. Because with this, the lady can pick up a satin gold blouse, and that will pick up that color. It's just accent. Guys, you don't have to put an embroidery on every square inch of that to make it look perfect. It's just like this. Here's another example. This is where he's frowned. See, this is beautiful.
Stitching with that
That
on.
stitching is beautiful.
Look at that.
But, yep. But look at this.
Wow.
White on white. And guys, I'm telling you, 12 years ago, you couldn't do this. 25, 30 years ago, when you were doing garment construction, you couldn't do this.
None of it.
30 years ago.
But do you know what?
35 years ago.
Your machines that you own, you can do this now. Every bit of this is done with computerized sewing. That's what sewing machines of today has come to. What is old is new. When was the last time you were able to find a pair of blue jeans that comfortably fit you, that didn't look like something that you'd throw away?
And that's done just on the machine.
Every bit of this is done in Mike's Blue Jean Shop class. You come in, you create this from right over there. And you can see, what are all these little pieces right here cut out for? It's because in this class, this is what you create. Everything. From bradding to the top stitching to even making your own name tag. Body Mechanics is Mike's name tag that was created with the embroidery machine. That's embroidery. Well, I was sitting up there and walking right by there, there is this prom shop with fancy, it's a dress store, fancy, and sitting right out in the hallway there was one of these mannequin butts, because that's what it was, and it had a pair of blue jeans that looked exactly like that. They were cut off and rolled up, and right back there on that pocket right there was some of the fanciest design stitching you ever seen.
How much were they?
Guess what? They were $125.
And what would it cost you to make them?
If you've got an embroidery machine and a sewing machine that sews this, $10, $12. And the thing of it is Mike's class, see, here's another style, just different sewing style. Some people don't like the fancy, so use stitching. That's the thing about it, guys. The store is starting to do this. Is we are now going and teaching Sewing 101. I couldn't pull it off this summer, but next summer we will have sewing camp for kids. That and Williamstown, when I did this, this was something not only did my teachers up there love, the kids have a passion for. And what it is it's a camp. The parents drop them off at the store at 9 o'clock and they pick them up at 3, just like they do. And we have them all day long. And we teach them sewing. In that week camp, they make 4 projects. And they take the sewing machine home with them. And we have developed dozens of 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12-year-old sewers that are now 14, 15, 20-year-old that are still have the passion for sewing.
Because they know how to do it.
Because they know how to do it. Sewing 101. Right here. There are actually more people sewing today than has ever been in the history of the sewing machine business. even back during your day when you were creating and you had to, there's still more people sewing today. And I will tell you, the vast majority of them don't know how to sew. Because if they actually knew how to sew, they wouldn't be going and buying crap from discount stores to try to sew with, because they cannot sew with that.
I figured out a long time ago it took just as much time to sew on good fabric that looked good, hung good, lasted good, than it did cheap stuff. It was.
Yes.
I started out doing cheap stuff, and I learned that you didn't gain a thing with that.
Well, one of the things, guys, that happened yesterday, it's hard to find good fabric. It's hard to find good fabric here in this town. Well, there's good fabric still manufactured. So I guess we'll have to start bringing some of it in. If people want to sew and they want to learn to sew right, we just got set up with a fabric distributor yesterday that provides quality fabric. There is a revival of garment construction, and part of it has got to do with, ladies, the economy, and that's part of it. But a lot of it is people are just tired of not finding things that fit them correctly. One of the other passions beside garment construction, guys, is arts and craft. I'll tell you where one passion is, and we've got the right person that's going to be working here with us. Her name is Debbie Wampler. Debbie has her own business. But Debbie makes custom purses. And I believe this is a plain sample of her work. But the reason that she is doing business with us is because the purse is gorgeous, the fabric is gorgeous, she is first quality. You can look at the seams, they're perfect.
Where'd she get her fabric?
That's when we get into with her classes and stuff, she'll have to tell you that. But the thing of it is it don't have enough bling. So the bling that she wants, she can do with an embroidery machine. Which is the reason she got the Memory Craft 12,000. Because it does the most bling. And the biggest bling. And does stuff in a fast way. This is another sideline that we're going. Also, Debbie also has one other passion. She is an expert on fabric. She can tell you what fabrics to buy to make your sewing better. She has the sources to tell you where to get them. Now you know why I contacted the people that I contacted.
When will you start doing the fabric, the denim
I will
jeans?
do it exclusively when I get the samples of the fabric that Mike wants, so he can get a feel of it. He told him, I do not like to look at the picture. I want to feel the fabric. But Debbie also can tell you about fabrics. And she also has a passion, one other passion. She wants to teach beginning sewing. And she wants to teach people how to construct like this. instead of, let's sew on a piece of paper. With the precision of the Janome sewing machines, you can sew on any Janome sewing machine, whether they're $99 or they're $12,000. Just like that, that's constructed with. But that's the precision of a Janome sewing machine.